start seated. And we can take our hands down to the knees, palms face up, and just allow the shoulders to just circle a few times and then rest down the back. And think of the spine being nice and long, but not too firm. So you might just drop into the lower back just a little bit, but not slouching. So there's a firmness to our seat. And then the feet can be either together in butterfly or they might be cross-legged. So try to relax through the feet and the legs and just start to ground yourself through the sit bones, relaxing into the hips, the pelvis, and taking nice steady breaths. Relaxing the facial expression. Letting go of tightness within the jaw. And also softening through the neck. And as you start to clear your mind from any thoughts of your day or what is to come, just drawing yourself into that present moment, just draw into the physical of yourself, noticing how you feel today, noticing any parts of the body that might feel a little bit tight, that might feel a little bit uncomfortable. But also those areas of the body that you think, wow, that feels really good for me today. I feel really quite nice and comfortable in those areas. And maybe that is the spine for you. And if you're like me and who's had, a spinal injury or any back pain throughout your life, maybe just take a moment to remember that pain and how you feel at this present moment by bringing yoga into your life to bring flexibility and mobility and also strength. But we always have to honor ourselves in our practice. So if something isn't working and it's uncomfortable, don't force it. Make modifications to make it comfortable and accessible for you. Drawing into a spinal breath. The breath starts at the root on the inhale and travels up the spine, all the way to the crown of the head. And on the exhale, the breath travels down through the neck, down through the spine, all the way back down to the earth. So you're tracking the spinal column with each of your inhales as you rise, and tracking your spinal column as you exhale and root. The inhale nourishes, revitalizes, and restores. The exhale releases, lets go, and softens. Taking just a few more spinal breaths. And then bringing the hands together, just warming through the palms. Create some heat. Bring the one hand down onto the belly and the back hand goes down onto the lower back. So just if it's a little uncomfortable into the wrist or the elbow or the shoulder, just turn the back of the hand around so you've got this connection to the body from front and back. So you're focusing on your core, you're focusing on your abdominal strength to support you in your practice, but you're also very aware of how your spine is going to respond to the postures and the flow today. So just draw the intention down into the abdominals and the lower back. And whatever intention may rise for you today. Maybe it's something to do with your spine. Feel that energy, that heat, that warmth, and your sense of touch, front and back. And then release the hands. Take the opposite hand onto the belly and the opposite hand onto the back, just to swap. Breathing deep into the belly and the spine. Visualizing your intention. And gently release the hands, release the feet. We're going to come straight down onto the belly. So bringing the hands underneath the forehead, big toes touch, and just sway out into the hips. Relax the glutes. And now draw the abdomen in. So not crush the abdominals, but you're engaging. And it's an energetic engagement. Notice how the spine responds, the extensors, the back muscles. Now release the belly, let the belly just relax, let the spine drop towards the mat. Try that once more. Draw the abdomen in. Engaging abdominals, engaging back extensors, engaging glutes. And then gently release. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back. And then press yourself up into a nice low cobra. So we're going to ground through the hips and the pubic bone here. Draw the elbows in towards the rib cage and back towards you. Are you breathing? And then gently release down to the mat. Shake it out. Hands come to the outer edges of the mat. Press through the tops of the feet. Roll up into seal. Don't come too high. Dropping the hips down. Dropping the shoulders. Gaze is straight ahead, and just notice where the feet are. Are the heels rolling in towards one another, or are the tops of the feet pressing into the mat? Drop the hips and the pelvis. We don't have to come too high. We are just warming up. Breathing. And And gently roll down through the belly, through the ribs. Bring the hands back behind you. Turn onto the cheek and just release. Interlace the fingers back behind you. Open up through the chest and the shoulders. Press the knuckles back towards the heels. Come into a half locust. Legs stay down. Engage abdominals. Engage back extensors and glutes. Breathe. And gently release and roll down. Take the cheek to the opposite side. Roll out. Let everything release. Let the abdominals go. Let the lower back drop down. And then press yourself back into a tabletop position. And just sway out through the hips here. Introduce a few little circles so that you can start to get a bit of mobility into the lower back after those 3 back extensions. And then come into a gentle cat and cow. So inhale, thinking of that breath traveling up the spine. And exhale, curl into the cat. So everything is related to spinal work today, and the abdominals, your glutes are all going to support you with that. Last time we come into that high cat and then we release to tabletop once more. Inhale, left arm goes up, thread the needle, send that arm all the way through, come down onto the ear, and maybe that arm goes out in front of you, or you might wish to take the bind to open up through the chest and the shoulders just a little bit more. Hips are nice and square above the knees, pressing tops of the feet into the mat. Abdominals are lifted. Try to relax and breathe. We're not here for long. And then gently release that top hand. If you took the bind, press into the right palm, bring yourself up. Sway from side to side as you release, maybe a few circles again. And if it feels good, a few cat and cows. Right arm raises up to the sky. You open through the side body. You send that arm all the way through. Coming down onto the ear. And either extending that left arm in front or choosing to take the bind, wrapping it by the thigh. Lifting up through the belly. Couple more breaths. And then gently release the top hand. If you chose to take the bind, press into the palm, bring yourself up. And again, just rock out. That's what I do at the weekends. Taking your child's pose, thinking about the spine. Release the hips back to the heels. Reach the fingertips forward. Nice deep exhale. Lengthen through the spine. Head comes down to mat or block. Breathe through the back body. Opening up through each vertebra. Nourishing each disc with your breath. Slowly sweep the arms back around you. Take a reverse prayer into that child's pose. You might need to lift yourself up to get the hands back into the shoulder blades. If the palms don't meet, you can just touch the knuckles or the fingertips and then draw yourself back down into that child's pose to open up through the shoulders. Letting the body release to the thighs as much as you can. And slowly release the hands. Bring them all the way in front of you, lifting up to tabletop. Tucking the toes, sending the hips back, coming into our first downward facing dog. Pedal out through the feet. Remember, this is an earth element practice. We're going to be coming into some standing balances. So really get the feet working, the ankles bending, lengthening through the Achilles, the calves, the back of the knees and the hamstrings. Giving yourself a little twist as you drop one knee and looking underneath an armpit. And bending into the other knee, looking up through the other side. And then when you're ready, nice deep exhale, both heels release towards the mat. Lift through the sit bones, come into that full downward facing dog. Steady, even spinal breaths. Slowly bending, walking the feet towards the hands at the front of your mat. Take the feet hip width and just relax the toes but feel grounded through all points of the feet. Relax the belly deep down between the thighs. So take a deep bend into the knees and then drop the belly between the thighs. Let the arms drop, let the head release. Give yourself a little shake. Head yes, head no. Lift the sit bones a little bit more as you start to straighten the legs. Not full forward fold, still a soft bend. Coming into that dangling forward fold. Breathing through the back. And then releasing the hands, heel toe the feet out, take a Malasana squat. Deep exhale, lengthen through the spine, maybe engaging Mula Bandha or Uddiyana Bandha here. Either your pelvic floor lock or your abdominal lock. Spine is long, you're reaching the sit bones towards the earth. And then gently release the hands, lift the hips, heel toe back into the center. Take that full forward fold this time. Inhale to half lift with a straight spine, reach the spine away. And then exhale, fold chest to thighs. Slowly bend into the knees, bring the hands onto the knees, and then just press yourself as you start to roll up through the spine. Take your time, avoiding any dizziness. Bring yourself into full mountain pose, Tadasana, and then notice here, are the abdominals engaged? Are you arching into the back? Have you kind of pushed the hips back a little bit, or are you dropping the tailbone under? So give yourself a little anterior and a posterior tilt with the hips. Notice how the spine responds, and then feel that tailbone lengthening all the way down to the earth. Handy to have today is 2 blocks. Hopefully you've got them handy. We're going to have those by the side of us, either on the highest or the medium level. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 breaths to get into the pose. So that's a real nice slow movement into the pose, and then 2 breaths to hold into the pose. So the first movement we go into is chair pose. We take 3 breaths to get there. Inhale for 1. Inhale for 2. Inhale for 3. Holding for 4. Holding for 5. Bring the hands into the heart for 1. Twisting to the right leg for 2. Elbow comes to knee for 3. Holding for 4. Holding for 5. Release the hands. 1 goes down, 1 goes up for 1, 2. Finding the pose for 3. Holding for 4. Holding for 5. Release the hands back into center. Come out of the twist. Be aware of the spine. Bring yourself up to standing. Back into Tadasana. Repeating that on the left. So we reach the arms for 1, 2, 3. Hold in chair for 4. And 5. Bring the hands into the heart for 1. Start taking the twist into the spine for 2. Right elbow, left knee for 3. Find that twisted chair for 4. And 5. Start to release and open through the hands, twisting even more for 1, 2, 3. Holding for 4 and 5. Gently bring it back into center. Take 5 counts to get there. Hands into the heart for 1. Press up through the feet for 2. Bring yourself to standing 3. Release the hands for 4 and 5. Inhale, the arms go up. Exhale, swan dive, chest leads, nice flat back. Take a bend into the knees if you need to. Here is an upward lift into the spine for 1, for 2, for 3. Using blocks if you need to, or fingertips on the mat. Holding for 4. Draw the abdominals in, holding for 5. Gently bend the knees, relax the belly down. Step back, right leg, take a high or a low lunge. Placing the foot for 1, grounding for 2, releasing the arms for 3, all the way up to the sky if comfortable, holding for 4. Holding for 5. We're going to come into a twisted lunge, so either using the block or placing the hand down onto the mat. Left hand goes to sacrum for 2. Twisting towards that front thigh for 3. Maybe releasing top arm. Holding for 4. Holding for 5. We're going to take it to the opposite side, so changing the hands. Left hand comes down, elbow comes to knee. Drop that back foot down, anchor through the back foot, reach the top arm up, twist towards the opposite side of your mat. Holding for 4. And 5. Release the hand for 1. Turn on the back toe for 2. Place the palms for 3. Step it back. Holding down dog for 4. And 5. Walking the feet towards the hands at the front of the mat. Take a deep exhale, full forward fold. Inhale, use the core, raise you up to standing. Bring the arms up above the head, and then exhale, take them down back into Tadasana, repeating that lunge set on the opposite side. Inhale, arms raised. Exhale, full forward fold, swan dive, nice flat back, using the hands on the floor or the blocks. Coming into that half lift for 1, 2, 3. Abdominals engaged, holding for 4, holding for 5. Exhale, release as you bend the belly down towards the chest. Step back, left leg, high or low lunge, making sure you're grounded. And inhaling for 1, arms raised for 2. Bring yourself up for 3, find the position, holding for 4, holding for 5. Come into that twist, left hand comes down, right hand comes to sacrum on 2. Open up to the twist on 3, maybe the top arm releases to hold for 4. And 5, turning to the opposite side, changing the arms, right hand down, ground through that back foot, 45 degrees, bringing that top arm up for 3, holding for 4, holding for 5. Release the hands, turn on the toes for 2, place the palms for 3, step it back, holding for 4, and 5 in your downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg raises up and back behind you, squaring the hips off, using the abdominals, lifting high on the toes, bringing the foot forward, coming into warrior 1. Plant the back foot, ground, start the lift, strong arms. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, sink into the hips, bend the knee, holding for 4, holding for 5. Sweep the arms behind you, interlace the fingers, open the chest for 1, to the sky, humble warrior, fold forward, 2, 3, holding for 4, holding for 5. Press yourself up, release from the pose. Bring the hands into the heart, twisted warrior 1. Bend into the front knee, left elbow, right knee, twist for 2, twist for 3, holding for 4, holding for 5. Release the hands down, turn on the back toe, place the hands for 3, step back, down dog, holding for 4 and 5. Repeating warrior 1 on the left, lifting the left leg up and back behind you, sweeping it through, grounding the feet on the 1, starting to lift the arms, 2, 3, make sure you're there already to hold for 4 and 5. Coming into the humble warrior, sweeping the arms back around you, interlace, maybe the other fingers on top this time, press and open through the chest for 1, fold forward, use the abdominals, lift the arms up to the sky for 3, holding for 4, holding for 5. Bring yourself up nice and steady, release the hands, keep that warrior 1 position, twisted warrior, hands come into the heart for 1. We start taking the twist, so it's the right elbow, left knee for 2 and 3, holding for 4, holding for 5. Bring yourself center. Think about what the spine's doing in all of these movements. Release the hands down for 3. Step back, down dog. Holding for 4. Holding for 5. Inhale, right leg raises up and back behind you once more. Bring the legs straight through to meet the hands. We're going to go straight up into a warrior 3. You might wish to use the blocks to get there. Finding the pose, holding 4, 3, 4, 5. Bend into the supporting leg for 1 and straighten. Bend for 2 and straighten. Bend for 3 and straighten. Hands come into the heart. Twisted warrior 3. Left elbow, right knee. I can't look at the screen and do that pose. It's impossible. And holding for 4. Good work. Holding for 5. Release the hands. Step it back. Down dog. Couple of breaths. Good work. This is the challenge pose. The twisted warrior 3. Inhale, left leg up and back behind you. Sweep it straight through into the front and then lift that back leg straight up and back behind you. Use the blocks if you need to get the balance, and then release the arms out to the side. Bending into the supporting knee for 1. Straighten for 2. Great work. Bending for 2 and straightening. Last time. Bend and straighten. Strong abdominals, strong spine. Twist. Hands into the heart. Right elbow, left knee. Take the twist. Focus. Good. And then release. Step it back. Down dog. Holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Lowering the knees. Take a child's pose. Just reconnect. Just notice what's going on. There's a lot of core work needed for those standing balances of lunge, warrior 1 and warrior 3. There's a lot of spinal work with the twists. So we're going to do all of that put together a little bit faster in a flow. So from your downward facing dog, walking the feet towards the hands at the front of the mat. Take a full forward fold, nice deep exhale. Bend into the knees. Inhale, arms bring you up to standing. Stretch the arms away, stretch the spine. And then exhale, release the hands back down into Tadasana. Notice that those abdominals are engaged in Tadasana. Spine is long and strong. We're coming into the chair pose sequence first, then the lunge, then the warrior 1, then the warrior 3. Chair pose for 1, 2, 3. Hands to heart for the twist for 2, 3, release the hands for 1, 2, 3, bring yourself back into center, 1, 2, Tadasana, chair pose for 1, 2, 3, take the twist for 1, 2, 3, release the hands for 1, 2, 3, Bring the hands into the heart for 1, 2, back into Tadasana for 3. Inhale, arms raised. Exhale, swan dive. Come into that half lift on the inhale. Lengthen the spine away. Sit bones reach back. Exhale. Place the palms. Step back. Right leg. Take the lunge, low or high. Inhale, straight away for 1, 2, 3. Take the twist. Right arm comes down for 1, 2, 3. Take it straight to the opposite side. Plant the back foot for 1, 2, 3. Release the hands, turn on the back toe, send it back, down dog for 1, 2, and 3. Inhale, left leg goes up and back. Sweep it through to meet, oh sorry, no, wrong leg, right leg. Get the right leg in front. Lunge for 1, 2, 3. Take the twist for 1, 2, and 3. Release and change the hands, plant the back foot, push the hips forward for 1, 2, 3. Release the hands, ground, turn on the back toe, send it back, down dog for 2, and 3. Warrior 1 sequence. Inhale, right leg raises. Bring it straight through. Plant the back foot. Square the hips. Straight up for 1, 2, 3. Hands release behind you. Humble warrior for 1, 2, 3. Bring yourself up. Twisted warrior for 1, 2, 3. Release the hands, turn on the back foot, send the leg back. Down dog for 1, 2, 3. Inhale, left leg raises, warrior 1 sequence once more on the left. Plant the back foot, square the hips. 1, 2, 3. Interlace the fingers for humble, open up. Fold forward for 1, 2, 3. Bring yourself straight up, hands to heart, twisted warrior for 1, 2, 3. Release the hands, turn on the back foot, send the leg back, down dog for 1, 2, 3. Warrior 3 sequence. Lifting the right leg up and back. Bring it straight forward. Take yourself straight up into that warrior 3. Use the blocks if you need. Holding, bending for 1. Bending for 2. Bending for 3. Hands into heart, straight leg. Take the left elbow to the right knee. Take a twisted warrior 3. Your left hand might come down to a block or to the mat to stabilize. Release the hands, step back, down dog for 1, 2, 3. Last sequence, warrior 3 on the left. Inhale, left leg raises. Come straight through, pop yourself straight forward into warrior 3. Bending the left leg for 1, and 2, and 3. Straight leg, take the twist, hands come into the heart, right elbow to left knee. Maybe the hand comes down to the mat to stabilize. Good work. And release the hand, step it back, down dog for 1, and 2, and 3. Release down, take a child's pose. Good. Breathe into the spine, breathe into the abdominals. How are you feeling? Good. Yay. All right. You know what? I looked out of the window the other day and I saw a half moon. So let's go into half moon. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg up and back behind you. Sweep it all the way through. Open up the hips. Come into your warrior two. Nice deep exhale. Okay, using a block or maybe the hands come down to the mat. Stepping forward, but when you step forward, don't take the legs straight away because you want to stabilize. So reach the hands down and that hand can come to the sacrum if you like. You can always place the hand onto the base of the sacrum. It doesn't have to go up to the sky. Come into that half moon pose. Maybe point or flex the foot, whatever your choice is. Now roll through the rib cage. Maybe changing the gaze either straight ahead or up to the sky. Lovely. Lift the leg just a little bit. A millimeter, a centimeter. Great. With control, release the leg back, warrior two. Nice deep exhale. Good. Windmill the hands over. Let's do a connecting vinyasa because I've done no sun salutations today. So your choice, chaturanga, up dog or ground position, cobra. Take it back, down dog, deep exhale. Inhale, left leg raises up and back. Sweep it straight through, come into that warrior pose. Round through the feet, know that you're gonna hit that balance straight away. Release the hand, lift the leg, and then find your balance. Maybe that hand comes to the sacrum, open hip, flex or point that leg, and maybe that top arm raises. My balance is way off today. Don't watch me. Lift the leg just a little. Good. Rotate through the rib cage. And then release it with control. Back into warrior two. Nice and grounded. Connecting vinyasa. Windmill the hands over. Frame the front foot. Your choice from your down dog. Either the chaturanga, up dog, or ground position, cobra. Take it back, down dog. Take a couple of breaths, or you can come down to child's pose. Good. So as we have done all of our standing work, we now come into our seated and our reclined work for the spine. So a nice seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You can always bend the knees here if your hamstrings are really tight, or maybe your lower back's feeling it a little bit now. It's probably quite tired after all of those twists. A lot of twists and a lot of forward folds and a lot of back bends. So inhale the arms up. Keep a nice flat back. As you fold from the hips, you might not go too far. Hands can drop down to the toes, the ankles, the shins, or the mat. Open through the chest. Keep the nice flat back. Draw the abdomen in. Remember that spine. Feel grounded. Relax through the shoulders. Maybe you give yourself a deep exhale and a little wiggle, and you might come down just a little bit further. Nice and slowly relax the legs, relax the feet, relax the body. Let it all fold. Then roll up through the spine and bring the right leg with you. So we're coming into a Mariachasana twist, which is with a bind. So if you need a strap, you might have one handy. I've got one here. Oops, sorry. So we sweep, the right arm goes around, and then you turn the back of the hand towards the buttock. You drop through the hip, and then maybe the hands take one another, or they take the strap. Sit nice and tall. Lengthen through the spine on your inhale, and then exhale. Fold. Head comes down to the knee. Mariachasana. There's about 3 or 4 variations of this one. I think we might go into the next one in a minute. Monica and I did it yesterday. Sonal will be familiar with Ashtanga. And Jess as well. And Sharon and Claire. You all love Mariachasanas. And gently release the hands. So this time we're going to draw the belly out of the way of the thigh. This hand comes through and under. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's okay. All right. And then this hand, oh, I did it yesterday. This hand might connect. If it doesn't, it's okay. It's really pulling down my shoulder there. So I'm not gonna force that one. I'm just gonna hold there and then twist all the torso over that right thigh. So Claire, hand through and under. So left hand over the top, through and under. Yeah. And then right hand. Hey, yeah. Gently release. Good one, Jess. Lovely, Monica. Beautiful. And release. Give yourself a little bit of shake out. That's a bit deep into the wrists as well sometimes. That, I think, is it Mariachasana D? I don't know. There's like 4 of them. Okay, let's take that forward fold once more. Inhale. Exhale, reach long, nice flat back, keep the chest open, hands come to feet, shins or the mat. Relax the shoulders. Slow, deep breaths. Keep that belly drawing in towards the lower back. Grounding through the sit bones. Few more breaths. Give yourself a little wiggle. You might come a little bit deeper. And then relax the feet, relax the legs, relax the body and the head. Roll up through the spine. Left leg comes in towards you. Take the first Mariachasana. So that was the left hand going around that left leg. Maybe taking hold of the strap or the fingers. Lifting up through the spine. Keeping a nice shoulder opening. And then take the fold. That's it, Monica. Nice deep exhale, let go even further, and then gently bring yourself up and release the hands. So this time we take the twist. We want to get that belly all the way away from that thigh. So that elbow comes into that knee. And this is where you start to thread the hand through and under. So what I tend to do is I lift the leg up and it gives me a little bit of lift. And then maybe the hands meet. This one's a bit tighter on this side for me. There we go. And then really twist through the spine. So you're sitting nice and tall. Beautiful. Lovely. If it doesn't work for you, don't force it. Just take a twist through the spine. If you don't need to do the bind, don't do it. Holding for a few breaths. Think of that spinal breath. Inhaling to create lift and length. Exhaling to create deepness and softness within the spine. And gently release. Ooh. Roll the wrists, elbows, shoulders. Oh, are you off? Bye. No Shavasana. Okay. And bringing yourself down onto your mat. So this is a nice slow roll down. We want to think of scooping up through the belly. So we're drawing and dropping the sacrum first and then coming down each and every vertebrae. Think about those 5 lumbar vertebrae coming down. Then we're thinking about the 12 thoracic vertebra coming down. You're still breathing, you're still smiling, you're still drawing the abdominals in, and then the last 7 vertebra are your cervical, which is up near your neck, and draw the knees in towards the chest. Roll, massage. Feel the spine connect in towards the earth. Take a few moments just in reclined child's pose, just to process what's gone on. Some new stuff probably. A new way of working through postures and flow. Drop the belly, drop the lower back, spread the spine, spread the shoulder blades. Relax into the neck and the face. And then lengthening the left leg all the way along the mat. Draw the right knee in towards the chest. Just hold the knee here for a moment. And notice if you've hitched a hip. So if you've hitched your right hip up to your waist, keep the pelvis nice and level. And then nice and slowly on your next exhale, this is just to relieve any tension into the spine. Extend the leg up towards the sky. You don't have to have a straight leg. You can always soften into the back of the knee. Use a strap if you need. Dropping belly into back, dropping back into earth. Slowly bend into the knee. We're going to take a reclined twist. So we're going to just drop that knee over, roll all the way over onto the left hip. So you bring both arms over to meet. And then we're going to take the twist from this side. I feel like I'm a bit off of my mat. So we're going to start to peel that top arm along the arm, trying to keep that leg down as much as you can as you open up into that full reclined twist. Arms are out to the side, palms face up, opening up through the chest, trying to draw the shoulder blades down towards the mat. And notice here the twist within the front body as well as the back. So there's a twist going on. You might be able to feel a twist into the digestive system and the organs through the skin, twisting through the abdominals and the waist. And then you might feel just this gentle twist into the lower lumbar section, because the lower lumbar section has very minimal twist, but the thoracic has much more. And then gently roll yourself back, release the feet, take a Shavasana moment. If you need to, shimmy out through the hips. Just notice as you come out of the twist. Drawing the knees in towards the chest, roll and massage out once more. Hands can come underneath the calves if you like. I had to look and see what body part I was talking about then. And then start to lengthen through the spine, lengthening the tailbone away, dropping the belly in towards the back, and then spreading the back out underneath you. Keeping the left knee in, extending the right. Draw that knee in, and again notice if you've hitched that hip up towards the waist or the pelvis is nice and level. On your next exhale, take the leg up to the sky. Take a soft bend into the knee if you need, and try to relax in the leg and release into the spine. If you do suffer with lower back pain, some of these postures that we're working through are really, really good to use. Certainly gentle twists, gentle leg extensions, and drawing the knees in towards the chest always really, really kind of relieves a lot of pain as well. And then gently bend into the knee, roll onto the right hip, left leg comes across, and then take both arms over. And then start peeling that left hand along the arm, over the chest, opening it out, trying to drop through that left leg and open through the chest at the same time, drawing the shoulder blades down. Steady breaths as you feel the twist in the front part of the body, the skin, the abdominals, the organs, and also through the spine. Slowly roll all the way back, extending that left leg, Shavasana moment. Exhale, relax everything. And coming into our last posture, which is a supported fish. So your choice, either a bolster, but if you've got the two blocks, you can work with those. So one block to support the head, the other block down the center of your shoulder blades. Legs can be straight out in front of you or into butterfly, and then just finding your comfort in that fish pose. We're going to stay here for about a minute or so, just to open up into a back extension. So there's a number of movements that really help spinal mobility. That's your forward folds with your flexion. That's your back bends, your extension. There's your side bends, your lateral extension. There's your twists, your axial rotation. And then there's one more, which is the lengthening of the spine, usually when we stretch up in upward salutes or down dogs. Letting the spine mold over your prop. Dropping as much body weight into the support as you can. And gently bring the hands back by the side of the body to give you a little bit of lift, lifting the head up, and then just rolling the blocks, all the bolster away, and come all the way down into Shavasana, lifting the arms up above the head, stretching the feet away, that upward salute. Stretch the spine as long as, imagine someone's pulling your toes and pulling your hands. If you've ever been on one of those traction machines in your physio. And then gently soften, release the legs, release the hands, make sure you're warm. Come into your full Shavasana. Give yourself a little wiggle. Tense through the fists, lift the arms away from the mat. Tense the right leg, stretch it up and away, and then drop it down and release. Stretch the left foot away, and drop it down and release. And then find your resting posture here. And breathing a little deeper to bring awareness back into surroundings, back onto the mat with the connection of your back, and bringing some movement into the fingers and the feet. And giving yourself that big stretch, reaching the arms up above the head, reaching the toes away. Big, long spinal stretch, and then draw it in nice and gently as you draw the knees in towards the chest. And just roll, curl through the spine, massage. So a lot of work into the spine, a lot of work into the abdominals. And then gently roll over to one side. Bring yourself up to comfortable seat, hands at heart. I've been there many times today in our practice. Anjali Mudra. And sitting nice and tall, again, not rigid, just firm and relaxed. Legs nicely relaxed. The spine feels long and open. And just draw back into your intention for practice, whatever that was. And thinking how you can take all of that wonderful work for your spine out into your days, into daily life. Our spine supports us with everything that we do. So just being aware of your spine in when you're bending, picking up things, reaching for things, twisting for things, always being aware of your spine and giving thanks to your spinal column for protecting your spinal cord, which sends all the messages down from the brain, from the central nervous system. Thanks for your breath and your energy, and I thank you all. Namaste. Thank you.